Hi, everyone.
That was like really delayed. I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are
My Outlander Purgatory.
Outlander Purgatory. So, episode 5, we are
on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
That's a classic.
Life I love is making music with my friends, and I can't wait to get on the road again.
She can wait to get on the road again with her friends. Except her friends were treating her kind of crummy.
They're
I always
mean.
hate that, Carol. Don't you hate that when you go on the road with a bunch of dudes and they're like being all mean and shit?
That just happened to me last weekend.
Oh my god, I know. It's like that's the last that like kills the road trip buzz is when you're like hanging out with dudes who are like just mean. I'm sorry, but it does.
Yeah, it does, but I'll tell you what. If the big hot redhead brought me dinner, I'd eat it.
Okay, just say that it was Jamie that had brought over the rabbit instead of like, a nice tasty bannock. Say he had brought the rabbit, would you eat it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I've actually had rabbit. We made rabbit for something one time. And, John, we both ate it. But John was like, yeah, well, when we bought the rabbit, it's frozen and its head is cut off. But it looks like a rabbit. And he's like, okay, this is just a little too close to something that'd be hopping around, the front yard for me. It's just a little gross. But anyway. So
Down the bunny trail?
So, I still don't know how to say it. I'm sorry.
Slanja.
Slangy? Oh, it's like manja. Slanja.
They didn't just say slanja. They said slanja. There was another consonant at the end.
What are we
It
having
wasn't just
tonight?
slanja.
What are we having tonight?
Mike's strawberry margarita.
Are these things that you're just finding, like, in the sofa cushions?
No, this actually Tom bought me the other day.
This is leftover sangria from the other day, and it's sugar-free sangria. Do you want to know the secret to sugar-free sangria? A packet of Crystal Light lemonade. Yaha.
Well, wait.
What?
The Crystal Light sang margarita?
No, sangria.
I want to say something first
Okay.
before you. I need to get this out.
Okay.
Do any of you have any idea in the slightest how happy this episode had to have made Tracey with Claire's curly locks?
Oh, it's on my. All right, because I didn't take notes the first time, but I'm taking notes the second time. I'm like halfway through. I say, Claire. Here, wait. See if you can even see this.
These are the Cliff's notes.
Claire's hair. Can you see that?
Yes.
Claire's hair. Awesome. Do you see? Totally agree. I mean, it's awesome in that it like looks like crap a lot of the time, but it's like exactly how it should be. Exactly.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I love this episode. Like, this is episode 5, as we said, on the road. I think it's called On the Road. I'm not sure, but whatever. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I mean, like, they are just, like, swinging for the fences and hitting it out of the park, like, every week. Every week.
I am right back to feeling like I did last week, which is I loved it, absolutely loved it, but wondering how the non-fans masses are liking it. What I was just going to say was it's following suit with the book. Do you remember your speech that you used to give people, that you still give people who start reading Outlander?
Mm-hmm.
It's
push through, push.
Well, you always say that the first 50 pages is like, Frank asking Claire if she wants brandy on the veranda. The next 100 pages, and this is exactly what I tell everybody, the next 100 pages are good. You're going to think they're good, but you're going to think, what's the big deal? And it's around page 150, 170, something like that, that you go, holy crap! And bam!
When they go on the road. It's when they go on the road.
Well, for me, it's not when they go on the road. For me, can I give a spoiler?
Okay, spoiler alert. too many of them because I don't feel like making them still things. But okay,
And
go
look
ahead.
at your numbers. Look at your fans. Look at your numbers and write it down right now.
No, I can't focus that much.
Okay, I'm trying to help you get through it faster. Whenever. So what I was just going to say was what? Where was I going with that? What was I saying?
Some sort of spoiler about what your favorite part is.
For me, the minute Jamie said to Claire, when she asked if he minds if she's a virgin, that she's not a virgin, and he says no, as long as it doesn't, you don't mind that I am. That's when I was sold. That's when I went, this picture Anthony Michael Hall. This is getting good. Holy crap. That's when they had me. And then the rest of the thing was just like a race for time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I just want to make sure that these new fans who haven't read the books, if you're watching and you're thinking like, what's happening? I don't know. Stick with it. You're just about to the top of the roller coaster. You're about to do this.
For me, it started getting good right now. When the minute that this is on the road is like the start of part 3 or part 4, I don't remember. But this is when it gets good. Because just all of these, like, clearly, okay, I think everyone can agree that this was sort of, if not a turning point in the relationship with Jamie and Claire, that it was a huge, like, mother, may I take five giant steps forward? Yes, you may. Totally huge advancement in the Jamie and Claire dynamic. Jamie, this is the first time he really kind of yelled at her. He was like, you know what? You don't know as much as you do. Woman. How much did you love that? He's like, yeah, woman. What's your problem, woman?
Know your place, biatch.
No, I just thought it was so good. Let's start at the top though. But that's a good point. Like, are people who have not read the books, A, getting it, and B, liking it? I would say.
And are they putting up with all the Gaelic, which I used to say Gaelic, but I'm assuming I will get corrected for that. So
I like it. I mean, it worked really well this episode because it really put you in Claire's place. She didn't know what they were talking about.
That's what I said. That's what I said. They want you to feel like Claire.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to sit there and go, what the frig are they saying? That's
right. And what's up with this, Dougal, pocketing all this money? Because they don't know that he's really saying, the king sucks and Prince Charlie needs to be the real king. Blah, 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 whatever.
And my girl was a little forward this week. I was worried she was going to get her. See, I've read all the books and yet I still worry.
I know, right? All right.
They're going to hurt her.
I did take notes as I showed you. On the other side, too. And I, started watching again and I'm, halfway through. But, all right, so I have to say, the first thing, from the get-go, the scenery of this episode was, I'm like, hello, American Airlines, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, how soon can you book me to Scotland?
I know, but I have to tell you that opening scene of her sitting in front of the lock with the fur with the fur collared coat really gave me, if any of you watch Vikings on the History Channel, holy cow. And which I love that show too. So I went, oh, look at it. I mean, it's truly magnificent.
I mean, every single scene. And it was it was Scotland porn because they were just we'll have a little scene of talking and then this beautiful landscape.
Oh,
and then a little more talking and then this beautiful landscape.
I know.
I mean, it was just ridiculously beautiful.
It's incredible.
Bravo to whoever shot that episode. Bravo. So golf clap. Okay. So we open. So Claire's at the river or the whatever, and she's reciting a poem, and up to join her walks Ned Gowan.
My man, Ned Gowan.
Let me just say, perfection. Carol, thoughts on Ned Gowan? Loved him.
He was fantastic. I'm going to admit, not what I pictured. I always pictured, do you know Wallace Shawn?
Yeah, I could see that. that.
For any of you who don't know who he is, he was in The Princess Bride, and he was the one who tried to poison Robin Hood.
Kind of short, kind of balding.
Yeah. You think you took the poison, but really I switched them. That guy. I always had him as Ned Gowan in my head, but this Ned Gowan was awesome.
Ned Gowan for me was always like Bob Balaban-ish, like kind of small, kind of like spectacly.
Who is that?
This guy was like the Scottish Paul Giamatti, I thought.
Who was the guy you just mentioned?
Bob Balaban?
Yeah.
He's been in a million things.
Give me one of them.
Seinfeld, the TV guy who like was in love with Elaine. The network executive. He was Phoebe's father on Friends.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but you would know him if you saw him. Like really kind of short, balding, round glasses. Kind of has I can't do his voice, whatever. But anyway, I thought he was perfect. I thought he really did remind me of like the Scottish Paul Giamatti from John Adams, like in the
Do it, Tracey.
What? Somebody, it would be better if John did it, but he won't come on camera.
Paul Giamatti has just become like, he needs to be an Outlander too. All right, move on.
Okay, well, he's already in Downton Abbey, which is almost as good, so there you go.
You know who I'm holding out hope for?
Yeah, because you told Ron, you suggested it to Ron Moore.
Hey, Ron, remember that conversation in the elevator where I asked if you could put Dougal Scott in Outlander? I'd really appreciate it.
So Ned, great. Like there were a lot of scenes with him and Claire, and they took their time with the whole Ned's position. Like they gave Ned a lot, like a long time to like kind of explain his past and why he's there, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I always
loved Ned. If you love Ned, you're gonna love this.
Yes, and they were very true to that character. They were really, really great with that character. Right. And I like that Claire sort of finds like a little bit of a kindred spirit. I love the whole like that's a big thing with Ned is like he's kind of nerdy in the book and in the show, and yet he's like I was searching for a sense. I have a bit of a sense of adventure and. Yeah, I loved it. I thought Ned, perfect casting. I don't know the name of the actor who's playing him, but great. And they didn't make that big of a deal about. Oh yes, I do. It's like Bill something because he's in the starting. He's in the very like column out of the starting. Ned Gowan in the starting. Did you notice that?
No.
So he was great. So they're off to go get the rents, whatever. And so Claire is like making camp with all the boys, and they're all like sitting around telling dirty jokes and whatever, and she's feeling all like, and then Angus comes over and gives her some dinner, and she doesn't really like it, and who would, because it was kind of disgusting and Easter Bunny looking, as she said. Can we talk about Angus for a minute? Angus must not like road trips very much because they turn him into a bit of a douche. Would you agree?
Yeah, until the end.
Well, and I mean, I get it. Like, they had to set up Angus that way because they needed to have this, like, big, approachment at the end. Yes. But, like, it was just the whole episode. This was one weird thing to me. Like, Angus is sort of set up to be, like, the yang to Rupert's yin, and they're, like, this comedy team, this, like, Abbott and Costello, whatever. But then all of a sudden, like, Angus is really mean in this episode. And granted, like, he's pissed off at Claire, but I don't think it's just that. And, like, he went from being this guy who's like, hey, lassie, I like what you see, and hey, can you just wait till I, like, bag a babe to, like, whatever, to being mean. And I was like, I think they're finding their way with Angus a little bit. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say they're finding their way. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
I don't know. I kind of know what they're doing.
I think that everybody has an Angus in their life, too. I can name multiple Anguses.
I get it. It's like, he's not one note, whatever. It's just, I get, and maybe it's because he's not really developed at all in the books. and we have a much better idea of like who Rupert is or who Dougal is, as much from the books as anything else. Angus, we don't as much.
I like that. It makes it new to me.
Mm-hmm.
There is stuff in this episode that I was watching with Tom, and I went, who I have to remind everyone, my husband's read through Voyager.
Right.
And I went, did this happen? And he was like, yeah. Like one thing. And I was like, I love that I can't remember. That's a beautiful thing, because it's like experiencing it for the first time.
This was a really good adaptation of this part of the book. I mean, it was really like, there were differences, but like it all served the same story, which was really great. I don't know. So I'm still trying to find my way with Angus. Maybe I just still have a little bit of a problem from the fact that he didn't beat up Jamie like earlier on, and I'm just like kind of looking for things to pick on about him. I don't know. But yeah, I was just kind of like, when did he start hating it? Oh yeah. That's right, because Jamie's like, oh, except Angus hates you, but he hates everyone, and I'm like, really? Since when? Like he hasn't struck me as somebody who hates everyone.
Doesn't bother me.
Whatever.
I like the Big Eric. See, if you watch Monarch of the Glen, you would get that. I like the Pa Ingalls chuck wagging going across Scotland.
I didn't see that part. What do you mean?
Just when they show the wide shots of them all.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's exactly how I pictured it in the book. Exactly. I just marvel at the fact that Ron Moore and his wife, who with the costumes, these what?
Everything that Claire wore tonight.
These people have studied the shit out of Outlander, and I applaud them and thank them. So anyway, let's keep going. All right.
Okay, so they get to the first like cottage or like village or whatever. I just love Dougal. I loved how he like jokes around with all the tenants, like, oh, Joey, look at this. Like he's really goofy. The tenants all seem to like really respect him and like him, so that's kind of good. So they end up. What am I missing? Anything before they go over to the first tavern for the wee dram?
No, I'm watching. I'm watching Claire. The women at the table. Didn't that happen before the?
Oh my god! I almost skipped that part, and I love that. The whole Claire goes and wanders over to listen to this singing. That was all so great.
Like touching a little bit of pee is gonna bother Claire.
Oh please! Are you kidding? Claire's got her hand in like somebody's guts. Like
I know. I'm surprised she didn't just dig right in. She was like, "Ooh, pungent," but then she went, "What is that?" I'm like, "Are you kidding?" Like
I liked how. I mean, I loved how they conveyed how Claire is feeling through this whole episode in terms of being a Sassenach, being an outsider, being like, somebody who doesn't fit in. Clearly with the guys, she feels really bad. And she does feel that way with the women at first, you can kind of tell.
Right.
But the women sort of like, they kind of accept her. They make her feel a little bit more. Right.
She knows that she knows she's going to have to kind of pay her dues a little bit. She knows that she's going to have to take a little bit of crap, but she rolls with it, and that's what's so awesome about women. I mean, you know what I mean? They're pretty accepting. Once they saw her dig into everything and not have any fear and, just help out just like everybody else, they were, respectful. How about the peeing?
Oh, I know. When Angus walks in on her.
Katrina, she is awesome.
Katrina is just like, you want me to pee? Oh,
sure. I was just about to say...
Sure, give me a chamber pot.
I was just about to say how impressive it is that she is really, like, whether they have a lot of makeup on her or not, I don't know, but she, they make her up to look like she's got no makeup on. If there's one thing that distracts the crap out of me when I'm watching a film or TV, it's when some woman is lying in bed, face full of makeup. Yeah. It's just so stupid. She is so cool. Number one, she obviously totally rolls with it, with like that. Number two, the woman was squatting over a barrel to pee. Okay,
it's a chamber pot.
Whatever. You do not get any cooler than that when it comes to your contract.
I know.
Come on now.
No, I know. She's great. I was totally gonna say something about her, and I forgot what it was. All right, so she's peeing. Angus walks in. What the hell was I gonna say?
The baby.
It's just this whole episode is quintessential Claire. Quintessential, like, not realizing that she probably should just, like, kind of shut up about the goat. Not realizing, like, the whole, like, you know, layered tenant relationship kind of thing. Like,
right.
You know, like, F you, Angus, I'm getting this goat, and I'll bring it back to them.
I see that I kind of had a hard time swallowing because I was
she
like,
would do that?
I thought she really laid it on thick in the episode, and I just sort of feel like I told you, I watch it as if like I haven't read the books, and I'm sort of like, oh my God, what are you nuts? They're going to kill you. Shut up.
I think though that, I mean, part of it is her, part of it is like just, you know, that's Claire, that's our Claire. I wonder if part of it is coming from a place of she's really pissed off that she's being made to feel like that they're talking about her, you know, in Gaelic, so she doesn't understand what they're saying, and it's just like it's a lot of that coming out too. So she's just going to do something pissy, you know, because of that.
Right.
But that's another moment where like Angus was like, you know, like holds a knife on her for like trying to take the goat. I'm like, Angus, chill. You must chill.
Well, he's just I have taken your keys. He's like total spaz.
Yeah.
But like I said, everybody has an Angus in their life, you know, who just is dramatic and overdoes it and is over the top, and somebody's got to, you know, nicely talk him down. And oh God, I can't stand people like that too. They drive me insane.
I will say this because I was just watching it before. A little criticism of the episode: the fight over the goat with Rupert and Claire.
I like my popcorn. Holy crap! That was so like. And I felt like Katrina was like, "Would somebody hurry up and get this done? Because I can't."
I felt she was like, "You really can yank the rope, Rupert. It's all right. You're not going to hurt me." Like,
it was funny.
It was like this. Oh, Rupert. No, I'm really going to take this goat now.
Go
back and watch it. It was. There have been better moments on the show than that.
And you forgot the red coat.
Oh, well, that came. Then he comes up. And says, like, you know, may I be of assistance? Now, okay, who here besides me? And I'm not going to say that this is like a huge spoil. I'm not going to. There's a character named Lord John. Who here thought for a minute, like, oh my God, it's Lord John?
Tracey, did I, or did I not, text you when I saw Jan scenes?
Yes, yeah, you did.
And say, Tracey, would they bring Lord John in early? I mean, holy crap.
I don't know. Maybe I'll put a spoiler thing on this.
And this is the type of thing that I go, did this happen?
I know. Until he introduces himself later, I really was like, no. I mean, I could see it. Like, you know, hell, get Lord John in earlier. I'm all for that. But, no, there was a moment where I was like, ooh. Okay. So, all right. So we find out that guy's a redcoat. Then they go to the tavern, and before though, I want to talk for like half a second about the Jamie, because I just watched it again. This is where Jamie goes up to her and he's like, you know, basically, like, what the F, lass? Or no, what the F, woman? Like, that was just great. And then he's like, you know, you don't know anything about our lives here, and you know, you best like not, you know.
Shut it.
It's the first time. And again, Sam Heughan, like, I don't know how many times I have to say this, like, you know, did it in such a way that he was really firm but not mean. Like, I'm not sitting here throughout this video going like, what's up with Jamie? Why is he so mean all of a sudden? No, he was like,
who's Sam Hewen?
what? Oh, all you're seeing, what?
All I'm seeing is Jamie Brayton. Honest to God. I don't even remember. That is the sign of a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I don't think of him, of Sam Hewen, for an entire 60 minutes.
Yeah. Now, he's really great, but he's just, he was just very matter of fact with her, and it's like, you really need to, like, stay out of things you don't know anything about, whatever. And maybe that actually might have been a little bit later after she was accusing Dougal of being a thief, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, so Dougal does the whole thing. He does it's all in Gaelic, and at the time you don't really know what's going on. But all of a sudden he like rips the shirt off Jamie. They show the scars, and everyone starts like throwing money everywhere.
And Jamie's face, like Jamie just shows that whole. He's mad, but he goes along with it. Here's the thing, though. If you're Claire, don't you grab Jan barmaid and say, "What are they saying?"
You mean you needed and I wish I could give whoever credit for this. I don't remember where I heard this, but it's like the best expression. You needed a clarification. I know, right? Like somebody comment like where that came from, because it's a great like.
So we can give creds.
But yeah, because anytime that the Gaelic is explained, it's a clarification. I have to look at my notes because I totally forgot that I had them. The Dougal and the tenants came like earlier than with the ladies. Claire and the ladies. Claire's isolation really well conveyed. Angus, douche.
I'm watching it while you're.
Okay.
Oh, how'd you like about this shirt? I'll mend my own shirt.
I had to tell you, I don't know the first time I watched the show, I completely missed that because I don't know if I was talking to John or whatever, but like I kept thinking like, why isn't like Claire mending his shirt? Like doesn't Dougal keep tossing it back to her, and it never really happened? And I was like, what the hell? What happened with that part? So I completely missed it. Whatever.
Can I tell you that I started talking to Tom, runs in the family, during like one of the Gaelic scenes, Gaelic, and he's just talking Dougal, and I started talking to Tom, and next thing you know, the shirt gets ripped off Jamie. You there?
And you're like, what?
And I went. I totally like missed it because I was talking.
I'm getting the order of all this stuff mixed up. I don't know how people do these recaps where like they.
It doesn't need to be. They've seen it. They don't care.
Because I thought Jam calls her woman and Jam verbal smackdown is my last things. Which
then she chit chats with Ned Gowan at the river,
right? And she's all like, how does it? I'm not. Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. She wouldn't eat the chicken because it was like, and this is like after the fire. So they come across the watch, and how about Jamie like hightailing it out of there, like, oh yeah, that's the watch, boy.
Jamie was like, oh.
You're just learning a lot about this whole Scottish way of life. That's this whole episode is one big Scottish history lesson, from like the dying with the P to the watch to Culloden later on.
That worries me. Is it Culloden or Culloden?
I don't remember. I don't know. Whatever they said is what it is.
I think it's Culloden. That worries me though. We love history. Like people who don't, I just need to make sure that people keep watching.
Well, put it in the comments. Like if you've never read the books but you still love it, let us know. So all right. So yeah. So they find out about the watch. Let me say one thing. Everybody I know who hasn't read the books, who is watching, really likes it. Yeah. No, I know.
A friend of mine watched the other day. Said she wanted to watch and hadn't watched. Watched one.
You just froze. Hello?
Am I good?
All right, now you're good.
She texted me and said, I just watched Outlander. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then she texted me a few hours later and said, I just ripped through all 4 of them.
I know. No, they're great. It's really, really good. So, okay. So they know what to watch, which may or may not be important later in the series or not, whatever. And then yes, that's the one where then they, Jamie yells at Claire because she's being all, bitchy, and Angus pulled a knife on her, and this and that, and whatever. I think that's where I am now, actually, in my watching of it. Where do you have any more notes?
I told you I didn't take notes because I just watch while we're talking and I remember. But I have to tell you that Jamie's hair looks a little Frodo-bagged.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I remember what I was going to say. Besides the fact that this scenery is so effing beautiful, I can't even stand it. Is it just me, or every once in a while, oh, now I'm watching Jamie twirl the knife on his hand. That's awesome. Wait, did you love that?
I was waiting until you stopped so I could say Jamie's twirling a knife on his hand. We're at the exact same spot.
Am I the only person that every once in a while in a scene with Claire will do something or say something or turn a certain way, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Kate from Lost.
Great point.
Thank you.
I have to ask JJ her opinion because she's a big Lost fan.
She'll turn a certain way.
JJ is from the Book Bosses, by the way, everyone.
Book Bosses. Read
and
them.
Hildy.
No one learn 11. No, every once in a while she'll turn a certain way, and she will be the spitting image of Kate from Lost.
That is a great point. I never thought about that. Wow.
Thanks. So, all right. So, now, okay, so we're at another village, and Dougal, I mean, again, Dougal's just Dougal's so interesting in this episode. He's so, multifaceted.
How about the little boy?
Say what?
The little boy.
Which little boy? The hungry one?
The guy came along with his son.
Right.
And they didn't have anything to eat, and Dougal gave him the grain and said, you'll have dinner tonight, and you'll come, and you'll meet with us. I was thinking he was going to hand that boy over.
I know. I was thinking Dougal was going to be all right, sorry, you're in stocks now because you can't pay your rent.
And then I started thinking, did that happen at some point? Or was this in another book where they offered up the kid and they took the kid?
I think that's another book.
Okay, anyway, keep going.
Let's move. I need to reload my thing here. Hold on. Talk a little more as long as you have it on.
Okay, well, we're back to the second... Claire, my girl's thinking back to Frank. We got a little Tobias in this episode.
Oh, we got a bunch of Tobias.
And I just showed Tom Forget-Me-Not. Tracy, you've got to watch Forget-Me-Not. It's so fantastic. And so I was really happy to have double Tobias. And I love how they give each other these cute little knowing glances when he starts telling her something about history. Frank tells her something about history and she goes, and they both giggle at each other I know.
Sorry, I'm there. I'm still here.
So they go back and she is discussing. I don't have my. Do we even want to discuss what she's discussing?
Right. So the Jacobites dedicated themselves to restoring
the whole Jacobite cause, right? So she's starting to remember. This is where she's starting to remember everything that Frank has taught her about the Jacobites and how they had to.
This is where she starts to figure out.
She starts to clue in.
Right, because she recognized Dougal saying, Jacobite or...
Right.
Prince Charlie or whatever it was.
Right. No, she saw the flag, is it?
Islanders to raise money for the Jacobite army.
She's...
A lost cause.
She's looking at the flag. Yeah. She's thinking. I don't know if she saw a flag or what. But now it's she's cluing in and she's oh my God.
No, she oh, all right. We're sort of at the same part now.
Dougal and his men were involved in weren't criminal. They were
political.
They were political. So she realizes what the deal is. She realizes what's going on.
Right.
This is not Dougal just being douchey and taking all the money for himself. This is Dougal
Dougal?
raising money. He's building an army of vampires.
There'll be a lot of bloodshed with lives lost. We need an army of Jacobites. What was that, Eclipse?
I just don't even remember. Why is this not working? Damn it. I don't even know. Oh, maybe because I'm at 11% there on my lovely iPod pad. All right, you might have to do the viewing for the both of us because I'm not getting any more signal.
Okay.
So, okay. Oh wait. Okay. So are we at the part where?
Display.
So
Oh, and then she hears Jamie and Dougal talking in the ravine,
yes,
and then Jamie starts nailing the
tree. He starts beating up a tree.
and I'm like, I can't believe Claire did not go up to him and say, "Let me inspect that hand of yours."
I know, right?
She didn't say anything.
Turn down yours a little bit.
What do you want? See.
Turn down the sound. Why?
Because I can't
too loud.
concentrate. I'm just like, what? I want to hear it. What? Why is mine
Wait.
not working?
No. Oh, how come it's silent when I want him to talk? Speak.
Lannister. To choose was worth fighting for.
It almost sounded like he said, "It's a Lannister." Choose what's fighting for.
So,
Okay.
all right, but they're now, and so they're at the tavern now, right?
Yes. Oh,
Oh, this is one of my favorite scenes.
one
This is
of my Tracy.
one of my favorite scenes in the whole book.
You know what? All y'all who said I have to read it again. Now I've read Outlander a couple times and listened to it, but I was so happy I forgot. All
I
the
know. As like, all right, for you non-book readers out there, you know, I mean, clearly, like, there are certain scenes that we, the book readers, really love and really want to be in the show.
Okay,
and
wait.
This is one of them. Now, I want to know for non-book readers. Oh, yeah, my bad.
We went too far. We skipped the guys who were crucified.
Oh, yeah.
Was that in the book?
I don't think so.
It was cool. It was visual. It was very visual.
I mean, so what it tells you clearly is that the redcoats are just really not somebody that you want to, you know,
Even I
act
knew
with.
that this was not the work of the watch, but of the redcoats.
Been out here at least a week. More likely. The smell.
You bastards!
Bastards.
Yeah,
Bastards.
Angus is gonna freak out like he always does.
Yeah, I know. Don't set Angus off because we all know how he is on road trips. Not good.
Bastards.
Not good. All right, so
He gets a little ornery on road trips.
I know,
It's
right?
okay. We'll just give him a little stool softener. He'll be fine.
Angus needs some stool softener and some Dramamine on these road trips.
And I love how they're all like hardcore in their wool, and Claire's like, you know, they're all like in their kilts and everything, and Claire's like sitting here with her fur-lined hood and her little.
I want that coat so bad.
I know, I want it.
I know. Between the
Tracy, who do you think is going to put out the Outlander line?
I know, right? Like, you know, some designer needs to pick up on that, right?
Is this going to be like a higher end, medium to higher end Nordstrom thing, or are we going to just go to town with it at Target or Costco?
Oh my God! If you could pick up that at Target, that would be just awesome. Can you imagine?
Well,
Get
it doesn't
that
matter.
fur-lined coat for $50 at Target.
It doesn't matter because if they do it at like Nordstrom or something, they'll have it at Target in a few weeks.
Well, you know, Target is the official store of My Outlander Purgatory.
Did you just say that?
It totally is. That's where My Outlander Purgatory girls go to shop. Or we did once.
You don't have to tell me.
What's wrong with Target? Are you ashamed of Target?
Oh God, no. I love Target.
Maybe Target would like take out an ad on our videos.
I got
We
this.
could be like My Outlander Purgatory recaps, sponsored by Target.
And there's like full cutouts of us in Target. I got this in Target.
I got this at Target.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't match.
way.
I'm just realizing.
No
I
way.
don't match.
Okay, all right. Come on. We're at 41 minutes, and we really want to keep this under an hour.
We
And I think
digress.
we can do it.
Please,
Okay,
let's
so
keep
wait,
it under
we have to
50
break
minutes.
down this scene, though. So anyway, people, this is a scene that any Outlander fan was like, this has got to be it. And it was perfection from top to bottom. The only thing I will say, and I want to hear this from the non-book readers, were you a little confused that, like, okay, they were, like, in a tavern, and Dougal was doing his speech, and there's Jimmy's back, blah, 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 blah. Then all of a sudden, Claire's, like, sleeping in a bed. And I was like, for a split second, I was like, wait, did they back out Lee up?
I was like, where'd she get a bed?
Then I was finally like, oh, wait, I know where they are. But only because I've read the book, and I know what happens. So I will be very curious to see if people were confused by that. Like, where is she?
He loves her so much. He does not follow her around like a puppy dog. He gives her space and respects her freedom, whatever. Non-freedom, freedom.
Yup.
But at the same time, he knows where she is. He watches out for her. Every time he knows she could possibly be in danger, he is there. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, seeing this scene come alive was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
I know. It was great. And, like, and every part of it, like, the part where she's like, well, you know, you can't sleep on the floor outside the door. Like, just come on in here. And he's like,
It's warm.
what? He's like,
Sleeping.
He just did it. He's totally, like, scandalized.
I know. Oh, the whole scene was just great. It was just great. It was so much fun to see. I love that, like, she's constantly tripping over him. Like it's so funny.
I know. I have a spoiler alert right now, okay?
Okay, spoiler alert. Go.
Imagine when she decides not to go back through the stones. Imagine how that dynamic is going to change. It's going to change. It's going to start to change for the marriage and the honeymoon. But imagine when she says that's it and commits to staying here with him, and now they are equal partners. I might need to, like, take a leave of absence from life. I just don't know how I'm going to get through that.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be totally different, and we get to watch it all unfold.
I know. It's amazing. So that scene was just great. It was totally fun. He was great, whatever. Okay, so then I don't even remember what happens.
I'll tell you what happens. She comes downstairs the next morning. Oh, and didn't you think it was almost like, not the walk of shame?
Oh,
like,
but yeah, it's like, good morning, Mr. McTavish.
Yeah, like if I was,
Good morning.
I think they've turned a corner already. They've turned a corner now.
Yes, I completely agree. And that's why I said at the very beginning, like, this episode took their relationship to the next step. Not as a relationship, but as, like, a level of trust, you know? Right. And not just because of that, because of the fact that he really, like, you know, kicked the verbal shit out of her earlier on when he was like, you know what, you need to, like, get off your high horse. And
I wouldn't say that he kicked the verbal shit out of her.
No.
I would say
he told her off. He told her off. Yes, he did.
I would say he, I can't think of the correct adjective. He put her in her place.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
I don't think that he, like, you know, kicked the verbal shit out of her.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, it's all right. Yes, it's less than that, but he, like, you know, you don't expect he gave it to her good, you know? And
I think it was an adverb that I was thinking of and not an adjective.
I don't think that she expected, like, she wants, you know, and again, I get it. I get why she feels this way. She feels very isolated. She feels very lonely. And I think maybe she looks at Jamie and is like, well, you know, she wants sympathy. Like, you know, whoa, poor me. And he's like, sorry, no.
Ain't gonna happen.
No, because you know what? You need to, you know, reevaluate your behavior, as they say now. As, like, you know, a shrink of the 21st century might say now. Except he was like, woman, you need to mind your own business.
Every time you say that, it reminds me of the third sister, a.k.a. our sister, making fun of Charles Manson.
In fact, Ned, you have to believe me.
She always says, she always imitates him Like when they like, whatever, going woman. So every time you go woman, I think of Charles Manson and not Jamie Fraser. I'm sorry, Fraser.
I just don't even know where to go with that.
Tracey, ask her next time you talk to her. Just say to her, what do you have to say to me if I say Charles Manson? And she'll go, woman.
All right, so I'm at the part. I think I might have skipped. All right, so we figured out like what's going on with the whole Jacobite thing. Then
Bar fight.
Well, no. One thing I think we skipped this. She remembers them going, oh, and how much did you love the flashback with her and Frank at Culloden? I mean, and that was the real place. Like, I know.
It was the close-up of the Mackenzie marker.
I know.
I was like you, like, get me on a plane.
And you could tell she was like this close to being like, F it, I'm just telling you, like, look, I know, I'm from the future, and, like, you cannot do this because you're going to get your ass kicked.
Right. I love that. And her telling Dougal, I mean, like, girl, they don't get what you're saying, so just shut it. You're going to get your ass kicked.
I know. So then they have the fight, and that was just all great. That was all, like, great, where I guess it's Jamie. Was it Jamie or Angus that's, like, I don't remember who, was like, yeah, they're fighting for you. Like, they're fighting for your honor. We're allowed to talk about you, but, like, nobody else can talk about you. Are you kidding? Like, we'll be crap.
I loved that line.
I know. It was great. Who was it Jamie that said that? Or was it Angus?
I thought it was Murtaugh.
Or was it was Murtaugh. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, no, that was great. I loved that. What?
Help any other man that does.
You're a guest of the Mackenzie. We can insult you, but God help any other man that does.
Right. That was great. So I think she really feels like she fits in now.
She's one of the guys.
So she's getting washed up. Dougal comes up. He's like, "What you do?
I'm going to the river to wash.
To wash. So yeah, Dougal's like, "What's your deal?" And she's like, I don't know. And then, dun, 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 Johnny Redcoat, a.k.a. not Lord John, shows up.
Interesting.
He's like, oh, yeah, I'm with my Redcoat posse now. And, lady, something going on? And cut to black. So we have our first cliffhanger.
What's she gonna say? Obviously, she's gonna say, "I'm fine," right?
Yeah.
Which then proves her loyalty to the Mackenzie.
Everything all right?
To the
Right?
Mackenzie?
What?
Did you say to the Mackenzie?
To the Mackenzie.
To the Mackenzie. I like that they just say singular too. The Mackenzie. To the Mackenzie. I don't know what's gonna. I mean, I do know what's gonna happen, but
She's gonna say, "No, I'm fine."
yeah.
It reminded me of being a teenager and being in Valley Forge Park, actually, and having the police come to some of us and say, "Are you where you want to be right now?" And you might happen to go with a boyfriend and a blanket.
I don't remember that. I never did that at Valley Forge Park. That must have been you. So there we go. So we don't know what's gonna happen. It was a really great cliffhanger. Very interesting to have a cliffhanger. We have not had one yet. They've been sort of like self-contained little storylets, even as she's like advancing her cause in getting back to the Stones, which she tells us like on an minutely basis. Like, this is why I go back to that whole 1940s music thing from last week.
The Stones at
Craignadoon. Like we don't need to we don't need the music to remember that she's from the 40s because she tells us every second that she needs to get back to the Stones at Craignadoon to go back, home or wherever.
Quick thing.
What?
Two quick things. I miss Mrs. Fitz while they're away. And I did when I was reading it, so it's kind of like a bummer. Mm-hmm. And number two, I was kind of thinking, do you think they should be doing any shots? Like, I wonder if that would be, I don't know. You know me. I'm just sitting here going, okay, are the non-fans happy with this? Are they going to stick around? Should they be doing, like, flashes back to the castle and what's going on there and maybe showing a little too much skin? But then I think, you know, Starz is playing it cool with this. You know what I mean? Starz is like, we are doing it on the up and up. This is going to be...
They made it very clear. It's Claire's point of view. Claire is in every scene.
Right.
Every scene. We will not see anything that she does not say.
Tracey, it's high-class drama.
Right. But, all right, I'm gonna issue a spoiler alert, because I have a couple of things that I want to talk about, but I just thought about this other thing. So this is a big spoiler alert for people who have not read the books. If you have read the book, you can stick around. But if it's really Claire's point of view, they're really going to have to change the rescue of Jamie. And I suspected that they were. Because the rescue of Jamie in the book is like, you know, Claire's waiting at McCran's house. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, we got him. There were a lot of cows involved. Okay, great. Like, fix his hand now. That won't fly on TV. Claire has to be there. Claire, like, we can't just hear about it secondhand. We have to see the kind and the rescuing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's going to have to have been done in a slightly different way.
I have one thing to say.
What?
Please, dear Lord, spare us from CGI wolves.
Just cut the wolves. Ron, are you listening to me?
Lord, the wolves. I mean, have her in a hole, have the wolves looking down, and then cut it.
Yeah, cut it. All right. So there's that, which I just thought of. Like, so they're probably going to have to change that a lot. I have two questions that are one question and one, like, speculation. Mm-hmm. But both are still spoilery. Has Dougal told us that he's married yet?
Maybe he's not.
Okay. Because, of course, that makes me, like, start to think about things that are coming. And clearly they're going to, like, you know, they're going to need to marry Claire off in the next episode. I wonder, like,
not in the next episode. It's in episode 7.
Well, no, but they're going to need to come to that conclusion. Well, maybe in the episode 7, whatever. But like in the book, it's like, okay, you have your choice of Jamie and Rupert. But if Dougal's not married, is there going to be any sort of option for Dougal? That's why I'm thinking he's got to be married, and we're just going to find that out. Like, you know, well, why don't I just marry you?
I don't know, because
he is kind of a hooah, but he's also kind of a hooah in the book too. So
he doesn't really he doesn't seem married. I mean, I'm trying to remember back to the book. Wasn't the wife around?
No, the wife lives somewhere else. He has a bunch of daughters. Remember, because Jamie like fostered with him at their house, like off wherever.
Right.
So, no. So, we never really... we might meet his wife, like, once. But we never... I don't think we do. Maybe we meet one of the daughters, whatever. Jamie made out with one of the daughters once. I remember. He talked about it. But...
Isn't that his cousin?
So, anyway...
Isn't that his first cousin?
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, they were allowed to do that back then. You know, whatever. And here's my other speculation. And I'm so bad at, like, I just do this all the time. Like, I think, 5 episodes ahead. So today I was thinking about the very last episode of this season. And, okay, we know that we who have read the books know what happens in the first 2 pages of the next book. We find out that Claire, it's 20 years later. Claire is back in current time, and she's got a daughter. What if, instead of beginning the season 2 with that, they ended season 1 with that?
Are you trying to get them to do that right now?
I mean, now they know they have a season 2, right? And you kind of, I mean, the way it ends in the book is sort of like, I mean, it could easily be the end of the series right there. It's a nice, neat little bow. What if, you have like Jamie and Claire in the stairway, and Claire's like, they realize she's pregnant. Then they sort of fade to black. Then lights up. You see some dude who you don't know who it is, and it's Roger. Like, whatever, puttering around. He opens the door, and it's Claire and some tall redheaded chick.
Great point, because they're not going to end it in the Sulphur Spring all nice and cutesy.
Right.
Because why are you going to tune in for season 2?
Right.
That is a great point. Really great point.
Like, I kind of love that idea. Do you not?
Yeah, I do. I think you're right. I think they're going to have a cliffhanger.
I don't know.
Could her being pregnant be a cliffhanger enough?
I don't think so.
Lord, the Sulphur Spring.
All right, let's not even go there. All right, unspoiler. So what else? Any other things? I thought it was such a great episode. I think people are going to enjoy it, even if they haven't read the book. I really do. Because it's like the Jamie Claire dynamic is really developing. The Dougal dynamic is really developing, and he's very multi-layered, and he's very, just when you think he's going to go this way, he goes this way, Yeah,
I hope that I'm underestimating the non-fan masses and their intelligence level and their focus factor.
I think it's their intelligence level. I think it's their focus factor, and I think it's their, interest level, I guess, but I don't think you're watching, if you haven't read the books, I don't think you're watching the show unless you at least like historical drama, you know?
Yeah, it's just that they've been doing a lot of, they had been doing a lot of comparison, not comparison to the story, but, this is Scotland's Game of Thrones, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Anybody who's watching this because they saw anything that said that is going to be like, what the hell?
I don't know. The first season of Game of Thrones, I was like, all right, I'll stick with this because I like the Dink, but,
Lord, I don't even remember the Dink. I don't even remember the first Game of Thrones.
But that was kind of, like, there were really, like, some hot mess parts in the first season of Game of Thrones for me.
There's just so much going on there, though, that they jump around. Again, focus factor. Game of Thrones is, like, the perfect show for, like, the ADD set. Hi.
Right. I mean, if the worst problem that we have here is we can't tell the difference between Angus and Rupert, this is pretty easy to follow. No, I can tell now. I totally know now.
I'm saying, don't say we.
You couldn't before. You couldn't before.
Oh, please. Like episode 1, Tracey.
You can tell from episode 1.
Remember? No, I said, episode 1, I was like, after that, we figured it out. Who is making the memes?
Oh, that's right. I'm seeing that meme in a lot of places, by the way.
Really? Were you the one who told me they, because I posted it without our watermark. Yeah. And then I went back and put a watermark on it.
Okay. Any last words about the episode?
Let's, can't wait for next week. Can't wait. Oh, Lord, I can't wait.
Oh, my God. Next week is going to be epic.
What are we going to do when they go on hiatus? Do we have any word as to when they're coming back?
Like February sometime.
So this was 5. So we have 3 more weeks.
Like, I wonder, they'll probably slip in another Starz show in between the end of this one and the beginning of the next one.
And I'm trying to think of when Black Sails is coming back. Not for a while. 2015.
I don't know when Outlander will come back.
Black Sails had better not hold up Outlander, and I love Black Sails.
No, I'm talking season 2 of Outlander, like, because they haven't started filming yet, and they've taken a whole year to film one season.
I just recently saw where it said, "Crap, I hope Please, Lord, tell me they wouldn't bring back Black Sails.
I think they will. But you know what? We're at an hour and 1 minute, and we need to be shorter than the last one, which was an hour and 8 minutes.
Okay.
So
And you cut some out.
And maybe we'll get this under an hour if I can cut some stuff. So anyway.
Black Sails, March 1st, I think. Anyway, keep going.
I don't know. That's all I was going to say.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Hope you have a great week. See you next week.
We'll see you next week. Stay cool, and we'll
Stay gold.
Stay gold. Stay gold, pointy boy. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.